The Emperor has been expecting you.
Hi everyone and welcome to One Six Figure Focus, and you are very welcome on this Friday evening, morning, afternoon, depending where you are in the world, for another episode of Bargain Bin Bros. We haven't had done Bargain Bin Bros on the channel here for a while now. We were on Marco's channel 16 Fix last week, but we got Eddie Money Mendez and we got Marco, aka the 16 Scoundrel. Apparently.
What's going on?
How you doing, guys? You good?
Good, yeah.
Thanks for joining. I do appreciate it.
Happy Friday. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Thanks for joining on. And we may have one or two popping in. We'll see how it goes. Actually, I might actually share the link then with the Hope Show boys. Jose, are you at work? Just let us know. Right, look, we'll get straight into it. I'm going to address the chat. We'll get straight into it. And yeah, it should be a fun one. So we got Tragedy Tales, channel member. Thanks very much for being here. We got Figurassic Park as well. We got Phil, the _Empire Strikes. He is a channel member and a panel member on the Monday nights on the Hope Show. Phil saying, get Shane to 3K. We are 6 subs away. Exciting times. Maybe it happens live. We got Mark Mitchell. Yeah, we're almost there. Mark Mitchell, channel member. Thanks very much for joining us. We got Lancelot's Nerd Corner. If you haven't checked this guy out, please subscribe to his channel. You check out his The Batman review. It's so thorough. The production value is so good. Yeah, if that doesn't make you a sub, I don't know what will. CBS Sci-Fi, thanks very much for joining us again. We got another channel member, X-Man Supreme, and another channel member and panel member, Jose G. Hernandez, otherwise known as Jose Plus. And yeah, we're pretty much up to date on the channel. So this is pretty exciting today because we are 6 away from the big 3K, and when we do that, we're going to give away. So I'm guessing we'll probably be at 3K for the Hope Show on Monday. So if you want to win a brand new inbox Winter Soldier from Captain America's Civil War, donated by Ian, aka Ancient Silver Fox, you just have to be subscribed and present in the live chat on Monday in the Hope Show. I will ask a very simple question. I have mentioned the answer multiple times in streams over the last few weeks and months even, so quickest off the draw will get that, and Ian said he pays shipping. Shout out to the channel members. Brand new channel member, Good Old Spotchka. So these are the troopers tier. We got Good Old Spotchka, Ancient Silver Fox, Jose G. Hernandez, Brian Wong, The Ben Thomas Show, Eddie Money Mendez right here with us. We got Caffeinated Comic Fan, Jim Collector, Lancelot's Nerd Corner, Mugwump, Mike L, Chuli from Texas, Zenzan, and Ryan Smith. They are the troopers, and of course the commanders, which we were going to give a shout out as well. They have their YouTube handle name displayed at the end of every single video like this. So shout out the commanders channel members. New videos on the channel. My thoughts on this. Did a review on the Luke lights specifically for the IKEA Millsbow. Really happy with these now downstairs. They can be turned on from a smartphone, and they're just, or smart plug, just really convenient, not having to charge the lights that I had already on them. And yeah, I outlined every single figure I've ever sold and why. So yeah, I think selling's kind of a dirty word these days. We're gonna go right into it.
You've been
right
busy.
into it.
My goodness.
I'm busy, man. I'm busy. I'm going to town with these little, I know what you call them, incognito topics or something like that. So if you're just joining us there, we will be talking about figures, exciting releases that are slated, scheduled, I believe Collector Joy would say, scheduled to be released in quarter 1 and 2. Really exciting ones. But I don't know, Eddie, do you want to choose first? You can choose the first topic.
Yeah. I'm gonna go right into it and pick Gladiator.
Gladiator. I'm
so
really
Shane,
happy.
Just really quickly, that we got to say something to piss off Eddie, just to get his energy up a little bit. So I'll take that.
I think you should definitely piss off Eddie.
Yeah.
It's not that hard for me to do. I actually do it pretty much every time I open my mouth.
Yeah,
So
almost just seeing his face.
It's not just Eddie.
that's right. Sorry, you were saying about Gladiator?
Didn't you say something? You were sorry. I thought you were going to say something to annoy Eddie.
No.
Okay, so
it's coming. Just promising it.
So he's picked Gladiator. On the Hope Show every Monday night, we do this thing called the Snap, where I give people kind of impossible choices to pick between two different things. Could be two different figures, could be two different movies, or whatever. And they've got to snap one away, right? A few weeks ago, we did a snap, and it was Braveheart and Gladiator. So people had to choose which one they were going to kind of snap away to dust. And I snapped away Gladiator, and Ian, he wasn't even on the show, but he chimed in the chat to say snap away Gladiator because he's Scottish. Two great movies. I do believe Braveheart is a better movie. Now then, Eddie said he hadn't actually watched it. He went away and watched it, and I watched Collecting Weekly on Wednesday morning after you did it Tuesday night, and he, correct me if I'm wrong, but you loved it.
Yeah, I did love it.
Then Marco comes along and says, can't believe you're disrespecting Gladiator so much. And so I just thought, I wonder how much does Marco like Gladiator? And I was really curious. So this is not for the chat. This is not for Eddie. This is all about Marco. We're going to give him a few choices here. So which one would you snap away,
all about me.
Marco? Yeah, all about you. Which one would you snap away here if you could choose between you snap either Gladiator out of existence and keep Terminator 2, or snap Terminator 2 out of existence and keep Gladiator?
All right, before I answer this, I just have a quick anecdote, and this isn't a flex, this is just kind of a sad story. But so Gigi and I, a few years ago, I think this was pre-pandemic, went to Rome. So that was one of our, it was our first stop in Italy. It might have been the only stop that trip. So we were staying right down the street from the Colosseum, but Gigi wasn't feeling well when we arrived. So we stayed in the room just that day when we landed. And I ended up watching Gladiator on TV and thinking to myself, I am down the street from history, but here I am watching this piece of cinematic history. So
that is,
we
Alanis Morissette writes songs about that kind of stuff.
There we go. So we ended up going the day after and, explored a lot of history. And I had been before, but there's just like the Gladiator. That's the first thing that I think of now. So, it's kind of bumped up a few spots in my mind. All that being said, Gladiator's getting snapped here. I hate to disrespect this film, but T2, come on.
That's interesting, because you were calling Eddie out for disrespecting Gladiator, and you have all that history in Rome and, history, culture. But anyway, this is the second one. So, Marco, what would you rather snap away, Gladiator or The Dark Knight?
You've set me up here, and I hate you for this, but
these are just coincidental things.
You can't just put some of my top 5, top 10 films in here. But yeah, Gladiator's getting snapped here as well.
So I'm getting the impression that you're not the biggest fan of. Look, we'll do the third one anyway. What would you snap away, Gladiator or the first Iron Man movie?
Oh, Iron Man's got to go. I love Iron Man.
What? Really? Oh man.
Iron Man's got to go. Gladiator's it's an epic film.
Wow.
So is Iron Man.
It is in a different way.
I genuinely think you're only picking snap away Iron Man because just to save face.
Never.
I would never.
So you couldn't snap all
if I'm playing a character, I will tell you I'm playing a character. This is my honest thought. Iron Man's got to go. Love the film, but next to Gladiator.
Thanks for humoring us there. Myself and Eddie were messaging about this. We were all in this since the start.
You've set me up here.
Yeah, well, we did it, Eddie. Thanks very much for getting straight into that. I really do appreciate that. Okay, so Marco, we're going to stop annoying you now for a while. You got about 4 minutes. Right, next topic. You pick.
I'm kind of feeling this Doctor Strange portal here at the bottom left, so let's go with that.
Damn you! Anyway, we're going right into it. So okay, we're going right into the main topic. So okay, so this is the main topic. So
oh wow,
you can pick whatever one you want, and we'll have a chat. So these are all slated for release in either Q1 or Q2, and I picked out a few that I think that the masses would like. And what do you think? Anything you want to talk about? Anything you have on pre-order here you're excited about?
Eddie going first, or I'm the one going first?
Whoever. Yeah, whoever.
Okay. Really quickly, let's talk about this Bane, because obviously it is on the thumbnail, and that's one after the Selena Kyle released. You kind of feel like maybe it's around the bend, but I don't know. It's brand new technology, so maybe Hot Toys delays this one for forever. But this Bane is going to be incredible. I currently, so I hadn't had a Bane until Joao was kind enough to share the one that he had thrown across the room with me. But that one has its issues, right? It was kind of missing a few pieces that had flaked. So I've got one specific look for Bane, but no vest, no coat. So this with the seamless body, this is going to go crazy. I think this is going to be just an all-time banger of a Hot Toys. People were kind of saying, is he too big? But I think that it fits my exact memory of how big he was in the film and how they shot him, right? Maybe Tom Hardy isn't necessarily going to be the size of the figure, but I think as long as it scales well to the DX19 and the Armory Batman, which they're going to be bringing out from the Dark Knight Rises, I think this is going to be just an incredible piece in most collections. But how about you guys? How are you feeling about this one?
So you obviously have pre-ordered this, or?
Oh, heck yeah. This was, I don't like to do the dopo when I can help it unless I'm locking in, no shipping, no sales tax or some type of discount. But this is one that I instantly went out to order. I
agree, man. This, this is one I just jumped on straight away. There was, it just looks like a 2.0 that's a real 2.0.
No doubt.
Like it's not a reissue. It's not a soft 2.0. Like you could argue that the Catwoman is a soft 2.0, 1.5. You could argue that Batman Begins was actually a 0.5. He went backwards. But this looks to be like if it turns out as good as this, it looks like it's going to be a real, like a blueprint for how to do a 2.0. What do you think, Eddie? Are you keen on this one, or?
Oh yeah, I love Dark Knight Rises, and people kind of give it a little hate, like it's the worst film out of the three.
It's so bad it's good. No,
the other two are so good.
Oh my god, he's on the Anna de Aramis thing again.
Wow.
I just saw the chat talking about it. I couldn't help myself.
Yeah, you guys think that's where it ends with Marco, but his takes are always like that. You guys think I'm like super controversial? Marco's takes, man.
Oh man.
But anyway, yeah, I love Bane. I'm not a big villain collector, but I actually want every villain from the Dark Knight trilogy. It's the only real trilogy other than Star Wars that I'll allow to have villains in my display. So I'm excited. I ordered it. I don't know if I dopoed it, but I have it on pre-order. So I was sad to see that it's not on those upcoming releases that Hot Toys posted a while ago, because I think it was announced before Selena Kyle, right?
No, Selena Kyle was announced
first.
Before.
Oh, yeah, okay, then that makes sense.
I think the first one we saw was the DX19 was the first of the kind of them revisiting the Dark Knight again, and I want to say the Batpod was after that, and I think then it was Selena Kyle, and then Batman Begins and a Tumblr announced. I think. Oh, my Tumblr shipped today. It's a thing.
Nice.
Let's go.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Dang. So do you have a place to put it until you're...
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay. Like a true collector, you'll figure it out later.
No, typically if I can't display, I will not pay. That's one of the rules I have. And I've got a plan in place. So it won't be just stuck in the box or up in the attic or whatever. Like it will arrive before the display. But I'm looking forward to it. So to the next level. Yeah, that's what. So the three of us are all in on this, and I just think it's going to be awesome, man. I really hope that this turns out as good as the prototype images. So how do you want to do this? Do you do you want to bounce back and forth between the upcoming kind of releases that are exciting and this? Or do you want to what you want to do? A few of these first, and then go back and maybe do 2 or 3 of these and come back, or what do you want to do?
We can do a few of them, and then go
cool.
back and choose.
Right, your call then, Eddie. What do you? Or did you pick that one, or?
Marco picked.
Marco picked that one.
Yeah, Eddie's turn now. Also, I'm cracking myself up. I'm still adjusting this new setup and the new camera height. When we go to the bottom of the screen, you just see my hat and eyes. So I feel like
I've been trying
shout out to John, the everyday collector.
Like
with the statue came growing in the back, you just saw less and less of him. So.
What's the neighbor's name on Home Improvement?
Oh, Wilson.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Literally.
I'll go with Samuel Jackson. Why am I blanking on his freaking name? Mace Windu.
Mace Windu. Okay, we got Mace Windu. Yeah, there was just too many. I have slides in these, or have the kind of the Facebook tabs up, because it's just better with Hot Toys Facebook page because you can zoom in and stuff.
Yeah.
But with this, because there's so many of them, I just had to use slides. It was not ideal. But all right. So Mace Windu, are you boys in on this, or?
Yeah, this was actually a dopo, I think.
Oh, yeah?
I ordered this the second it went up on Sideshow. So
Is the prequels thing or your
excited.
thing, aren't they?
Yeah, prequels, and he's one of the coolest Jedis. So, I think they nailed the likeness too. I feel like this entire line has been like every single likeness has been fire. So I'm super excited for this, and I didn't know this was almost as shocking as Han when it came out. Like I didn't know that we were ever gonna get Mace Windu.
Yeah.
So.
Lots of speculation.
I would agree on the lot. Yeah, I don't agree on the likeness though. I think they could do a bit better on that, but I do agree that it was a bit of a shocker that they actually did it, because I think a lot of people did want it. You think the sculpt, there's no bit of room for improvement there?
This is one of those controversial opinions for me.
It is. Yeah.
There's always room for improvement, I'm sure, but when I look at it, there's nothing that I would change. When I look at it, it's Mace Windu. Like, I don't know what I could do to make it look better. To me, it looks exactly like him.
They could work on the hair, man. I mean, the sculpt's fine.
They could add some more sweat beads.
Yeah, like his hair was poofy in the movie. And they've added these like Clone Wars bits, haven't they? So you can kind of, even though like it's an Attack of the Clones branded figure, you've got like a throwback to the Clone Wars animated series. Would that be right?
Yeah, with the arm bands there.
The armor,
the gauntlets. Yeah.
They've done that a few times now. I think they did it with Cad Bane. They included, Toto 360?
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of love that they give you these little, not necessarily screen accurate pieces, which may set off some collectors, but it's always nice to try to keep your line as uniform as possible.
Yeah, I don't think Joao would like it.
Yeah, he would absolutely hate that. But yeah, I kind of feel that this likeness needs work too. That's what prevented me from jumping out and going after this one right away. I kind of want to see what they do. I feel like he'll end up in the collection eventually, though. It's Samuel L. This character's badass, but I got to see some improvement on that sculpt, because I just don't like the likeness at all. Like, it just, something about it is off, and that would be the biggest reason for me to add this, is a really strong likeness. And so if they don't make any adjustments, then it's probably going to be a pass. But if they do somehow retool it, I'm going to be chasing this one.
Yeah, the prequels are something I'm probably never going to collect. Like, so it's, even if this thing had a pulse and it was a shrink ray, I still wouldn't have an interest in it. Just kind of rejoice for the people that are happy, like, you know. So I am, you know, I was happy when I saw it, because I knew it would make other people happy, put it that way, like, you know. So good stuff. What's the price on this one, Eddie? Can you remember? It's that's about $290, I think. So yeah. Okay, cool.
$284 on Sideshow.
$284.
In US.
Gotcha. Good stuff. Anyone have anything else to add before we go on to another one?
I think what I like about this character is that normal like stare that Hot Toys has works for him, because he's always doing that, like that very like RBF, like doesn't give a fuck. So
yeah.
I like that like normally it might look like a dead stare, but for him it works really well. And I like I don't know, sometimes I feel crazy because I'm like, dude, to me it looks perfect. I don't get it. I remember when it was announced, a lot of people were saying the likeness was not quite there, and I was like, wow, okay, that's crazy to me.
It's so tough though, because it's like we want them to ship the best product possible. We want it to look as close to the actor and have those details nailed down perfectly. But at the same time, like it's tough, because when I complain, I'm like, I want this to be perfect. But then when I see others complaining and nitpicking things, it's kind of like, all right, you're kind of going a little too far. So it's hard to know where that line is. But I do appreciate collectors respectfully expressing their opinions and, you know, requiring the most out of a company.
Yeah, it's funny. Like, I mean, I definitely, I wouldn't shy away from saying I don't think the head sculpt is good on any figure, or in the same way that I wouldn't shy away from rejoicing when the head sculpt is actually a banger. Like, but I think the problem is maybe, yeah, we always know like the usual thing, like people sending nasty DMs to the artist, or people like criticizing other people and getting a bit personal in comment section because they don't like the thing they like or whatever. But even I find like, people breaking down everything. I like when people are particular and kind of thorough. There's nothing wrong with that, especially if it's constructive criticism. But even little things like adding in lol and LMAO at the end of everything, it just comes across like a pretentious dick. That's what it is. It's in like, I am so above you, you haven't noticed this tiny little hair out of place. Are you a real, it's without it's like show us you're an asshole without showing you're an asshole. That's what it comes across with. Like, there's nothing wrong with critiquing things, nothing wrong with offering constructive criticism, but just that things that maybe comes by and come true and typed that just maybe people are a bit unaware of. Like, you
do wonder what the hell is wrong with some people, right? Like, why are you? I get your passion, I appreciate your passion, but it's so misdirected. I just watched the documentary about the development of The Last of Us Part 2. And, the developers talking about the nasty emails and DMs that they were receiving and death threats.
That's mad. Like,
that's crazy.
I would just have to assume that a lot of it are coming from, like, kids, right? Children that don't know any better, but even then, it doesn't excuse it.
Like and hope to think, but sadly, a lot of this stuff is coming from adults, like, so, yeah.
Yeah. Just, come on, be better. Be better.
X-Man Supreme saying, I'm just going to bring Marco up there. X-Man Supreme saying, no one needs to attack anyone. Joshing around good fun is one thing, but damn, I get that. Who would go out of their way to shit talk the artists? Yeah, maybe, possibly. Yeah. No, I don't think I'm calling you out. I definitely am calling you out.
I can call some people out on the LOL thing. The second I get in a conversation with someone, I'll say conversation, but like argument or something like that, and the second they say lol, I immediately am like, I don't want to have this conversation anymore.
No, I'm definitely not calling you out. Tragedy Tales, I'm not sure what I'd be calling you out about, so I don't know, maybe you got called out by someone else. I don't really know, like, but no, I'm not calling you out. I don't know what you're referring to. Hit me up on Instagram, we'll talk. Spend a good week in the US Midwest and you lose all those. That's funny. We collect toys. Are we even adults? No. We're grown men and women who collect toys. We don't need any more reason to be acting like kids. Right. So
exactly.
Right. So I might actually choose one of these. I gotta go with 1989. I'll just get this up here. So just get this up here. So we Batman 1989. I know, like, I don't think either of you have this on pre-order, or maybe I'm completely wrong.
You're completely wrong.
Oh, right. Both of you? Or just you?
I missed the pre-order. I think both versions. Actually, that's a lie. The one that I want is on waitlist, which is the collector edition. I don't want the deluxe because I could care less about deluxe bases. Marco knows that. I don't care for the big bases, so because the collector is sold out or waitlisted, I'm waiting. But I'm sure it'll either convert, or when it ships, I'll be able to find one somewhere. So I'm definitely going to get it. I just don't have it on order. I might end up getting it from Pop Culture.
There we go.
Like, just that alone, like, you see there, I actually, you don't like the base, do you, Eddie?
It's cool. I don't need it. It would take up space for me, and it would probably just be in something I had to store. So it's cool.
I get that.
I need it.
I get that. Yeah, and like, inevitably, like, I mean, look, this is, I've said multiple times before, my collecting is rooted in my love of film. I'm making an effort here, folks. And like 1989, Batman was the first movie that I ever saw that I was like, I love this. I actually love this. So I think I credit this for being a collector, and or blame this maybe, and also from loving movies. But like, I think this is a welcome 2.0. You've got, like, I really like the base. It's not just, no simple sand base or hexagon base, whatever. It's a nice diorama. You got the mouth plates are great. I think definitely one or two of them are stronger than other ones. You got a bunch of accessories there, and it looks like an improved cape. I did actually go to Kit and place an order for I think it was a Jackson Shoe custom cape for this, just to be on the safe side. I don't want to take any chances, and I don't want to have the thing to come in to get arrived and then go, oh, this cape is not great, and then have to wait a few months for a cape. You know what I mean? I'd rather arrive at the
It's
same
always
time
a good
or-
investment for the Batman.
Yeah,
to
and it'll
add
sell
to
as
that.
well if this cape turns out to be amazing. Then I can pat it on. But I appreciate what Eddie's saying though. After pulling the trigger on the Jazz Inc. 1989, I want this guy standing next to that vehicle. But then I'm not going to stand it next to it with the base. So do you rotate it, or do you get 289s? And my collection's not going in that way.
It's a pretty like standard base you could use for any Batman. So if like you have Batfleck, I don't know if you even like Batfleck. I don't know.
No, I'm not a fan. Not a fan. No.
It would go good with Batfleck, but you could put it with a Spider-Man. You could put it with Batman. You could put it with a
Daredevil.
lot of different. Yeah, Daredevil. I don't know.
Obviously, the gargoyle is really specific to the
Deadpool
film.
goes with everything.
There we
Yeah.
go, exactly. But no, that's kind of why I decided, like, let me go deluxe on most of these diorama bases, because I'm like, I could use this with other figures, and having those nice dioramas, although they take up a lot of space, just sometimes they're just so badass.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the thing is, I'm glad they're doing more of these diorama bases, and I do really like them. For example, off the top of my head, the Final Swing snowy rooftop building, I think that's cool. This one is a great one as well. The Wolverine 1973 deluxe one. But I have noticed that, of course, you have the Iron Man one as well from the Mark III, and I have noticed that sometimes when you get them in, for example, the battling version Spider-Man I've since sold, the diorama base, which I was quite excited about, paint apps are quite soft on that, like, just definitely loses a bit, like, so I think that's something Hot Toys need to work on when they are producing these diorama bases. They're definitely taking a step in the right direction, but try to give that same detail in the final sculpt and the final paint application process to final product. I think they just
Definitely.
don't go 75% of the way. It's kind of like the lightsabers. They're taking a step in the right direction with the powering them up by USB, but they're just not bright enough, like,
No half measures.
Yeah. So you've got this on order, Eddie. You're inevitably going to order, I'm guessing.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, good stuff. Yeah, interesting stuff. All right, look, we're gonna just
So Shane, sorry, I've got a follow-up
Sorry, go
question
on.
really quick.
Yeah.
Are either of you considering adding the Mars Toys Bruce Wayne, the Keaton, or as Joao would say, Michael Keaton?
Michael Keaton.
That's
Keaton. No, I'm not. That video I did. The video I did just like 2 days ago, I think it was yesterday, the day before, about every single figure I've sold and why. Like, I do consider myself a disciplined collector. I don't want to come in here and have hundreds of figures that I don't care about. I want to come in and go, I love everything in this room. And a lot of the, like, it was a warts and all video, and it was just all about, like, these are all the figures I've ever sold and why I sold them. And what I noticed when making the video, some of the decisions were perfectly logical. Like, okay, I had the MMS 67 and 68. They're very old. There's better versions available. Get rid of them. I had the DX02, which is the DX19 style one. Terrible figure. The DX19 blows it out of water. Excellent decision. So there was multiple time upgrades like that. But then there was times where I bought two figures that I didn't really need. And there was times then when I bought figures which were really cool, like the Heavy Mando. That's an amazing figure. But I was like, didn't catch myself looking at it. And it was a bit of like going through it going, I need to up my game in terms of tightening that stuff up. So no, the Alfred, is it the Alfred you're talking about, or sorry, the actual Bruce Wayne? No,
Actual
the Bruce Wayne from Mars Toys won't be coming to the collection, and neither will
He is
the
a
Alfred.
civilian, so I understand it.
Yeah, I think that would simplify it. Yeah, no, that's a fair point. Not going to argue with you in that one. I will say the in art, if and when I do think they are going to do it. It's just a question of how long we're going to have to wait for the Dark Knight DX19 that they're going to do. But I do imagine they're going to give us a Bruce Wayne in the suit, and that one, I will make the exception for that, because it's the Dark Knight. It gets the pass there, like. But I think we all have guardrails and some sort of system. Well, I think a lot of collectors have a system, and I think it's like healthy eating. Like, once you're following I don't know, if you're eating healthy 5 days a week, 6 days a week, you can do what you want in the other day, really. And I see it like that. Like, if I follow my own kind of rules 90% of the time, it just keeps me in check. And the odd time you make those exceptions might turn out to be missteps, or it could be like, no, I made an exception for that and I'm glad I did it. So time will tell. Sorry, Eddie, what about yourself?
I definitely want it. But I do hear Shane's argument about, for me, it's more like, do I need both Batman and the Bruce Wayne? But for that iconic movie and look, I kind of feel like I do need it. Plus, with Batman, it's almost like every Batman, I want like a Batcave kind of display, and it would look good in that kind of display without standing next to Alfred, or just standing in the Batcave. So yeah, I kind of feel like I do need that. I haven't ordered it, but since Kit put more up, I've been tempted to.
I'm going to answer this question, Lancelot's Nerd Corner. Do you think Shane would rather collect Black Adam or a civilian? I would rather collect Joel, the KPMG accountant, complete with laptop and pen saver. I'm not a fan of that movie. I do not want it in my collection. I don't smell what Black Adam is cooking. So I hope that I'm quite clear on that.
Gyllenhaal.
I'd rather have Maggie Gyllenhaal. Not as Rachel, just as the actress struggling for work.
Just literally her.
Yeah. Not a fan of that movie. It made my feelings quite clear on that. I think it's terrible when you go see a movie and you go, Shane, you're on the way to the cinema and you're like, why are you, this is €15. You're never going to see it again. Why are you going to see this movie? There were other things you could do. You could make content, you could repost some figures, you could go get a beer, you could watch a sporting event. And then you come out in a movie and the other part of you goes, I told you. I just thought that movie was awful. But
that's how I felt about Venom 2, Let There Be Carnage. I almost walked out. I was like, this is so ass. But I liked Black Adam. Black Adam was fun, in my opinion. Like, I had a good time, and I know that Eddie probably enjoyed it as well.
I only ever felt that way about Andor, but it was free, and I just turned it off.
Jesus.
You didn't like Andor? That's so weird, man. I can nearly understand you not liking RoboCop, but...
Jesus.
Did you watch all of Andor?
I watched as much as I could, which was about 3 episodes.
Oh, that's right, when it starts getting really good.
Yeah, like Andor's really slow, and there's parts of those first 3 episodes that are really slow. But then once I think they get to the factory, I think that's where your man comes in. Andy Serkis comes in. That's just so good.
I did see that episode where the factory is like being destroyed all around him. Was it that? That's the one you're talking about? Where it's like,
I can't swim. Then you haven't seen that episode.
No.
Yeah. That like Andy Serkis does a speech. The 3 speeches in Andor that are mind-blowing, like Oscar-worthy stuff. Andy Serkis' speech in the factory. I don't want to give too much away. I don't remember the characters' names, but say like Andor's mother figure, her speech at the end is mind-blowing. And Luton's speech, what have I sacrificed? Like, awesome. He doesn't know the context, so you're not going to put that together. Like, you'll have to.
And I promise you, even if people keep telling me it's good, I'm not going to go back and watch it. I don't care to know. Like, it won't change my life to watch this, and it won't make Star Wars better for me. So like, there's no point in going back.
And so Eddie, I won't argue with you because I understand you're a man of convictions. If you say you're not going to watch it, you're not going to watch it. But I will say that it increased my appreciation or fear of the Empire. Like, you truly feel how much of a dictatorship they are, right? And so like so many parallels to real world shit.
You realize
like, this is the most evil they've ever been.
Yeah, but you're almost a noob Star Wars guy because Thrawn did that way before Andor ever did that. So it's like I already have that.
Yeah, fair enough. And I will understand the hypocrisy of me saying like, oh, you've only watched 3 episodes, it gets good after that, which sounds just like a Clone Wars person. Like, oh, you didn't actually see the whole thing. So I understand, not everything's for everyone. But yeah, Thrawn did it for you in Rebels, that's fine.
I feel like you're cutting off your nose to spite your face. You're just like, no, I'm not going to watch it. And I do think you would enjoy it if you just get into it. Like it's. Oh,
I'm gonna get him drunk when I see him, and we're gonna watch this.
He's gonna put on.
Let's get drunk and watch Andor. That's said right. No one ever.
That's right.
That's one way of falling asleep. Right. To be fair, it is very slow. Yeah. All right, so look, we will return through the portal again, so to discuss some more of those. Really, I think those 3 figures we discussed were ones that are very exciting. Mace Windu, the 1989 Batman, and Bane. I think that's safe enough that a lot of people are looking forward to them, and even if you're not, you appreciate they're going to be good. But Eddie, you want to pick something else here?
Yeah, I will go with money, I guess.
Ah, nice. Yeah. Okay, you have $1,000. You have to spend it on something collecting related. So you can't spend it on something useless like health insurance or something like that. It has to be collecting related. What are you gonna buy?
Can it be like $1,000 won't cover the whole thing, but I'll put it.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I like that. Of course, yeah.
Okay, it would definitely be the Batman Forever Batmobile.
Right. You didn't even think about that one.
Part of the reason I don't buy a lot of or any jazzy vehicles is because I feel like they're super expensive. Mm-hmm. And sometimes it feels overly expensive, so that's why I don't really go down that. I was going to get that one. I had it on order, canceled it to get my money back because I was annoyed that I had $1,600 just sitting there. And I think if I were to magically get $1,000, I would definitely put it towards that. So that way I'm only paying about half of what it costs. And that's definitely the first thing that comes to my mind.
Eddie, I love the way you are a man of conviction. Marco, you're onto something.
I try to be.
If you go
watch old streams, you might see some contradiction.
No, but like the thing is, those old streams made you the collector you are today, Eddie.
That's true.
We all make missteps. My missteps definitely they came to mind more making that video because like I was like, okay, that's fully justifiable. You have a DX19, it's better than the DX02. You have the Inner Joker, blows out the MMS 68 out of the water. But then I was like, you sold 2 upgraded Spider-Mans. Why did you buy 2 in the first place? You know what I mean? There was a time when I was on the track to get 9 Spider-Mans. I'm a Spider-Man fan. I'm not like a 9er. You know what I mean? So
you're human.
Yeah, exactly. So, but I still need to be a bit more, just a bit more lean into that triple threat more and stuff. Yeah. But Marco, you have $1,000 tax-free. Gigi does not know about it. You have to spend it on collectibles. What you gonna do?
Yeah, so people might not know this about me, but I'm a big tech guy, like technology guy. So I think in another life.
Thanks for clearing up what the shorthand of technology means.
In
Ireland, we running water last Tuesday. Internet so helpful.
Well, shout out to your king or queen. Glad they finally got that to you all. But
Megan, keep cycling. I don't want the electricity to die.
Right.
Okay, so
I just wanted to make sure that I was enunciating when I said tech. So anyways,
okay.
So if I wasn't spending all this money on Hot Toys, I probably would have a lot more gadgets, like the Steam Deck OLED that just came out. That's like a $600 item. Desperately want, but it's like, do I want more than a Hot Toys? Not necessarily. The Apple Vision Pro is one that I probably would have in my possession. But $3,500 for a Gen 1 thing that's going to be outdated in a year or two. So I can't justify because I number one that and also all the money on Hot Toys. But I am a huge fan of OLED TVs. And so I've got a 55-inch and I've wanted to upgrade to the 77 or 83-inch. Now I understand that $1,000 wouldn't get me all the way there, but if it was subsidized, I probably would just go get that 77-inch OLED and just flesh out my home theater. So that's what I'm going with.
Good stuff. So it would actually go into an Oh, right. So it would go into your collection room. That's how it's a link to collecting. I'm with you now. I'm with you.
There we go.
So like,
there we go.
is OLED TV, is that like a brand of TVs or is it a type of technology
It's
in
a
TV?
technology of the TV. So basically,
alright.
I mean, I'm no scientist or engineer, but it's basically a lot compared to an LCD, which has panels that kind of light up. This is like a bunch of individual dots, and you get the richest blacks because when they're off, they just turn off and it's black. So it's like
Right.
the most true representative colors in a lot of senses.
Right. So it's all right. That makes sense to me. So this would like make your HD 4K Blu-rays look even better.
They pop, they sing. So yeah, so I've got a 55, but like I said, 77 inch. It would never need to go to the theater ever again.
But you'd still go though. There's something about this.
No doubt about it.
Yeah.
I might go watch Dune today or tomorrow. They're re-showing it at IMAX before part 2.
Cool.
And I like watched it during the pandemic on my 55 inch, and I was like, somehow this doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
Like it's filmed for IMAX.
Yeah, because the only thing I only watched Dune once, and I'm not gonna lie, I have no idea what that movie was about.
It's a slog.
You have to watch
But
it.
I
three
tell
times,
you
I
one
think.
thing, I appreciate. No, you're right. You're 100% right, Eddie. I have 2 more to go. But I appreciate like composition, good photography, cinematography, and I looked at that, and in a similar way to like Blade Runner 2049, just the way things are shot, there was some stunning cinematography and image.
But
on
49
that.
is a
I
better
love that.
film, though. It's a better one of his films.
Yeah, it's the same guy, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that like is that. It's funny how, like I thought there was a link there, but yeah, they're very similar in terms of like those vast open shots, like, you know. So Akira says Marco has it right. The OLED looks unbelievable in person. It's a real difference. So how much would like a 77-inch OLED set you back?
About 2,000 American dollars on sale here. So, they're in striking
A
distance.
Jazz
but
Inc.
GG just
Jazz Inc. vehicle.
There we go. Exactly. A Jazz Inc. vehicle, but Gigi just cannot be swayed that it's something that I need. She's like, your TV's still working just fine. We have TV at home. I'm like, but it's not 77 inches. So yeah, we'll see. Someday I will.
I can just tell
swindle
that Eddie is making in his head a bunch of killer jokes, but he knows I'm gonna go. Come on, dude, it's a family show. What the?
Yeah, I've had a couple.
Yeah.
Marco's known as the man who says 3 inches is enough, and he's fighting for
Oh,
more
God,
than
that is
55.
priceless.
That's right. Oh, boy.
I,
All
I,
right, so-
I think I fall more on like the line of like I got a TV already. When I was younger, I used to be much more like I want a 77-inch, like the best TV and like 4K and but like I still do want that, but I'm also like I'll get other stuff before I get that. So
Gotcha.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like your priorities. Like Shane said, a Jazz Inc. vehicle. Maybe someone values that more. And I'm working on appreciating what I already have. I'm like, I got the 55. It's good enough for now, but in a few years, it's going to need to be replaced.
It's interesting when you said that, like, because I gave up a long time ago explaining to anybody why I'm spending my money on anything, whether it was like a nice pair of shoes or like I buy Bitcoin, and again, I'm not going to. I bought
That's
Bitcoin
looking
since
good for you right now.
2017. Yeah, it's true, but it's everyone's an expert when it crashes, but everyone's an expert when it peaks as well. But it's those
There we
boring
go.
bits in between is where you're buying when everyone is going, oh, that'll never come up, and it's like you ask them, what's the current block reward, and they look at you with just vacant expressions like, are you having a fucking clue what you're talking about? All right, Grant. Anyway, bye. It's just that kind of like I've stopped justifying why I'm buying, like, I don't know, a 6 scale figure for $300, or why I'm buying a pair of shoes for $100, whatever, because everyone has something that they spend money on that the next person wouldn't spend money on. It's, you know what I mean? It's like you don't have to justify that to anyone, like, you know what I mean? It's just like everyone has a thing, like, you know. So
It's true.
I would spend it on, initially I was like, when I was putting this together, I was like, what would I spend it if someone gave me $1,000? You probably just pay off a massive chunk or 2/3 of the Jazz Inc. 89, or I maybe the 4-pack or something. And I was like, no, it would make more sense. There's a lot of figures that are on the cusp of being released or have just been released, but I haven't got them shipped yet, that the invoices are gonna come. I would just level a bunch of those, because then I wouldn't have to worry about it over the next few months, because with New Zealand coming up, I don't need that extra stuff. Like, so I think that's what I would do.
What a mom answer.
What a boring.
Yeah,
fucking-
what the
excuse me, freaking
I would
answer.
be
Right,
mature
man.
about it and make a good decision. What the fuck?
No, I would do that.
He lets
because,
us go and say some
I know.
frivolous things, and then he's
I
like,
know,
I'm
yeah.
gonna just
yeah,
you sick son of a.
but I'll have like less stress for the next few months down, and you know what I mean. Yeah, have an après
Collectors
ski,
live on
stress free.
stress.
Yeah,
It's the only
it's
thing that keeps us up.
true. Just gonna keep everyone in the loop here. We are at 2,998 subscribers.
Oh wow.
I don't want 2 subscribers. I want one person to set up 2 burners. Do it. Do it now. Okay, folks. Who wants to pick next? Will we let the chat pick next? First person to choose one of these. The money on the top left corner is gone. The gladiator on the top right corner. Don't pick the portal. We will be going back through the portal to look at some of those other highly anticipated figures due to be dropped in Q1 and Q2. So anyone, do you want to pick the Iron Man? Do you want to pick CJ? Maybe CJ is in the chat and wants to pick CJ. Mark Attack unsubscribes. The Ring of Fire is a portal. We've already been through the Ring of Fire. Oh, or do you mean the Ring of Fire? Like, do you mean the fire in the middle, Phil?
3.
Come on, Phil, clarify. You talking about the one in the middle? He probably is talking about the one in the middle. Yeah, he's been here
Talking
since the
about the
start.
one in the middle. Yeah.
Okay. This is not your 3 fire figures. Normally at the end of my episodes of Visions, the series of live stream I do, or every single episode I talk to a different collector about the past, present, the future, the collecting journey and all that. The last question I always ask is, your house is on fire, your family, your pets, your loved ones are outside safely, you have time to safely grab 3 6-gauge figures. That's not what this is. I'm asking Joey and Eddie and everyone in the chat, if you had to burn 3 of your figures today, what would they be? That is the question. Anybody?
Yeah, I think
Straight away.
Well, I can do it off the cuff. I think I'd burn the Two-Face from the Dark Knight. He's like, I know I said I liked him.
He's already halfway there.
Yeah. Look at you, quick. See, I do need a beer, Marco. I told you.
Yeah, that's right.
It would be that one. Then probably my other Two-Face from Batman Forever. It's the third-party one. It's not the best third-party figure, so that's why I would burn that one. Two Two-Faces. And the third one would probably be my what do you guys, the thick Thor, Endgame Thor. I got it because I'm a Thor fan, but I also
Bro
hate
Thor.
that rendition. Bro Thor.
Is it because the ankles or?
It's because I just hate looking at Bro Thor. But it's still Thor, and it's still Endgame, so I like.
I loved when he in the final battle. I kind of assumed like he'd get his stuff and then he'd be all thin again. I don't know why, because movies have conditioned us to do that. But he was just so badass as a chubby guy. I'm like, this is great. I love that iteration.
Chris Hemsworth's comic timing is awesome. Oh,
He's so good.
we hit 3K.
Oh,
Let's go.
Hey, there we go.
Nice.
Yomo saying 3K. Thank you very much.
Congrats, bro.
And then we get, thank you. We got Collector Joey 3K. Yeah, man, absolutely. There's one more beer here, so that's cool, man. I appreciate that. Just again, thank you to everyone who's ever taken any time to watch any videos, like any videos, subscribe to the channel, become a channel member, join, ask a comment, ask a question, join the live stream, invite me on the live stream. It's actually fitting that Marco is here because I don't think the channel might not necessarily exist if it wasn't for Marco. We were meshing back and forth, and I was saying, look, I think about starting a channel. I sent the pilot episode. It was a pre-order preview on the first Green Goblin, and he gave me some tips and stuff like that, going, you know, something. I think a lot of my sound effects were live, and he was right; they were a bit too loud. Yeah, no, thank you, Marco. I do appreciate that, and asking me. I think you're the first person that had me on the live stream as well, and so yeah, really.
And you've been
thank
killing
you.
it, man.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely took off.
Appreciate
And
that.
working your butt off too.
Yeah, and enjoying it though. It doesn't seem like work. If it starts to seem like work, I'll stop.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, guys, thank you. This is awesome because I have the next week off now as well. So yeah, I have a few cans in the fridge. I'm supposed to be doing hot yoga tomorrow at 8 o'clock. I don't know. Will that work out? But no, thank you very much. I really do appreciate it, guys. That's really happening. Thanks for Eddie and Marco for joining on. So just one or two chats here before we continue on. We've got a £5. Thank you very much. I really do appreciate it. This is Phil, channel member and panel member. He's kind of like one of our anchors now on Monday nights in the Hope Show. A £5 super chat. You don't have to do that, mate. I really do appreciate it. Congratulations, Shane. Well deserved. Massively appreciate it, Phil. Really do appreciate it. Thank you. And then we've got... I think this is the first time that this has ever happened.
Welcome to the club, man.
We've got a Yomo, thank you very much, gifted 1/16 Figure Focus membership. Who did you gift it to, or how does that work?
I think it's random.
See. Right, okay, that's pretty cool. All right, that's awesome, man.
That is cool.
Yomo, thank you very much. That's very generous. I do appreciate that. That's awesome. That's cool. I like the fact that we hit it here on a live stream. That is pretty cool. Like, cause
on a Friday too, where you can go celebrate.
Friday when I can celebrate and I can just chill out. Like, so that's pretty damn good. But we got Marco is making it rain. Thank you very much, Marco. You don't have to do that. I really do appreciate it. We got a $9.99 super chat. Massively appreciate it. Again, folks, if you're not subscribed to these two gentlemen and follow them on Instagram, please do so. So Made Media and of course 16fix. So and I see a lot of people in the chat like that you could subscribe to as well. Like, why not subscribe to this guy here and check out the Wolfpack Wednesday if you haven't checked out that, you're doing it wrong. And of course Collector Joey, thanks very much. I appreciate. That's great. Time to we got a figure giveaway on Monday night. That means all you got to do is be subscribed, be there, and answer a very, very, very simple question that I have been very blatantly obvious about what the question is and what the answer is. Okay, so
Shane, just one last thing.
Yep.
You're gonna probably want to cash that in ASAP. Our U.S. currency might only be good for a few more months, so just act on that quickly.
Oh, I'm converting that to Bitcoin, man. Don't you worry.
There we go.
Yeah. Right, who wants to go? Oh no, sorry. Yeah, the figures you'd burn. Sorry, Eddie, you said the Two-Face. Did you say Brothor?
Yeah, Two-Face. Both Two-Faces that I own and Brothor. And it's the Dark Knight Two-Face and the Batman Forever Two-Face.
Mm-hmm. Good stuff, okay. And what about yourself, Marco?
Yeah, so I think I have to go with Clone Wars Ahsoka. I was on CW with Zach talking about the most overrated Hot Toys, and that one just had so much hype around it, but as a figure, it's nice, but it doesn't live up to the hype, so she's getting burnt. Moff Gideon, the first version, the head sculpt is decent enough, but once we've seen the not the 2.0, but the second version, way better, so that one's getting tossed in the fire. And then I think my So-So Toys Rogue, the Anna Marie, she's cool, but the materials they use are just whatever. The face sculpts are still a little bit odd, so she's getting chucked in the fire as well.
Cool, good stuff. That's good. That's so the Anna Marie. That's a So-So Toys Rogue.
Yep.
And the first one was the Clone Wars Ahsoka. And what was the third one?
Moff Gideon. The first
okay,
Moff Gideon.
Okay. Now, the answer that you don't want to hear is I would check all the eBay sellings for all the sold and see which one is selling for the least. So when I sell it, I can buy back. But I think you would unfriend me if I say that. So I would burn the Artillery Trooper. That's one because I'm selling it anyway, and it'd be easier to burn.
That's the Mustard Trooper, right?
That's one. Yeah. Oh, this is not easy. Oh, I know there's no point in thinking about what's downstairs in the Mills bowl because they're my movie icons. The standard is extremely high down there. Anything that's a gift is not getting burned. I think Lando's going to go.
Damn, you hate to see it.
Oh, I don't know.
You can get him back for 150. You'll be fine.
This is true. Hear that, Eva Sneaker? Lando's going cheap. And... oh, God. This ain't easy.
What about your Cable?
Not a chance.
Wow.
I love Cable.
I do like that pose that you have him in. That's making me want one.
Cable is... the blogger pictures were not good. It cannot be posed with its top off as the prototype suggested it could. But apart from that, sculpt is good, softened a little. The accessories, beautiful. I just a big fan of that movie. Big fan of Josh Brolin. Big fan of the fact that he's an older gentleman who got absolutely ripped and everything's harder when you're older.
Wow, is it? Is that what I've heard?
That was a good one. That was great.
That was quick off the mark. Okay, so Lando...
DX13 probably. Send it to me and I'll dispose of it.
That's already half burned. No, okay, no, I have it now. Yeah, Artillery Trooper, I'm selling that anyway, that's gone. Lando, I like the figure. It's the original... you could buy it back cheap. I think the Transport Trooper, you could buy that back cheap as well. I think they're the three, if I had to. But I feel disrespectful to Lando, to be honest. Actually, it's not as bad as Steve being a massive, huge Star Wars fan and not owning Lando. Call him out, guys. Call him out.
The only reason I haven't purchased Lando yet is I'm not convinced that we've seen him at his lowest. I think the figure might go lower. I think I might be able to get it for like $100 at some point.
You might not be wrong. I actually got Lando shipped for 120 and it was new.
There you go.
I just noticed something here. Eddie, what are you doing, dude? That is very, very generous.
Shit, boy. Shit, partner. Shit. 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 Thanks for your time.
That's one of my favorite movies and one of my favorite shows and one of my favorite
characters.
Gifts from that's
nice. I think like my spirit animal, if I had to be reincarnated, I want to come back as Clay Davis or Johnny Lawrence. Johnny Lawrence, just a man like who has been. It's like he's was frozen in the 80s and was defrosted in 2023. And you can't say that, and he just does.
Wow.
So Eddie Money Mendes, extremely generous. Don't have to do that. Greatly appreciated. Has gifted 5 1/6 Figure Focus memberships. And do you have any idea? Do they just go random to people, or how does that work?
Yeah, they didn't tell me, so they're random. Also,
so
I
random
only
people
did it
have
to
just
one up Marco. So
I knew you did it. Put it in.
Love it, yeah. You love to see it.
Thanks, I do appreciate that. I'm interested to see who actually ends up being a member because of that. Greatly appreciate it. Thanks very much, Eddie. Again, you don't have to do that, but and Marco as well, and anyone else who has donated as well. That's massively appreciated.
I didn't see the membership option, but I would have done that instead. But that's a really good call.
Yeah, that's a
cool call. Yeah.
You have to do it on the You have to do it on the website.
Oh, no wonder. I can't have too many tabs open on my computer or it will explode. So that's probably
Sounds like
happened.
you need a new laptop, not an.
I think
OLED
I do,
TV,
and a new TV apparently.
Yeah, an OLED, 77-inch OLED.
You're right.
So we're gonna just go back here and look. We'll do one more, and then we'll jump back through the portal and take a look at some of these amazing, exciting, upcoming scheduled. I know Collector Joey's in the channel. We got to get these things right. Scheduled releases for Q1 and Q2. So, right. So what's left? We got the Iron Man in the top center. We got the guy thinking. We have CJ on the right. We've got a lightning bolt, and we got a magic wand. Do you want to pick? Who picked the last, or who wants to pick?
Well, the chat, I guess, picked the last.
Yeah, the chat picked last. So maybe Eddie, do you want to pick something? Mark will go after you.
I'm gonna go with the thinking character
Because it looks like you.
Yeah, because someone said that in the chat. So then.
This is a tough one. You've got to pick. What do you want to talk about?
Oh wow,
Sickner.
kind of is a tough one.
It is a tough one.
All right, this might be. I guess there's no wrong answers here. So, I've been recently looking at the old WinC Studios third-party musician characters. Like they did Prince, they did David Bowie, they did Bob Marley, Freddie Mercury. I would love more 1/6 musicians and singers and rappers, even like just more of those collectibles. And so I'll ask you guys, if you could pick the next character they made, or any company, I guess, but because they're doing them, what we'll stick to music. What musician icon would you pick that would get you into a 1/6 collectible? Either one.
I got one off the top of my head already. So it would be a 2-pack. It would be Dr. Dre and Tupac from that California Love video where they're doing like that Mad Max style, right?
Yeah.
I think Tupac had just gotten released out of jail or prison or something like that. Like that is just such an iconic moment in history. You could pose him next to Tom Hardy and and Mel Gibson in a little Mad Max display. So that's what I would go with.
Nice. That would be good. I would get both of those too. So
That's a good answer. I think with this question, like I'll be honest, I'm never going to collect sporting figures or musicians, and I'm a massive music fan. But it's just like I can't do everything. I have to draw the line somewhere. Same as like not collecting Clone Wars.
that's good, man.
Sequels,
I
whatever.
can't
But
do
like,
that, so.
I gotta say, okay, if I was doing this, it would have to be someone who I absolutely loved their music, but also someone I think would make a cool character. Because a lot of musicians, they just wear like black t-shirt and jeans. It wouldn't be a really cool character. It wouldn't be a cool design. But like, if you had like Notorious B.I.G. in that multicolored kind of top that he had on, and he had the mic, and maybe like a boombox or whatever like that, or something, a few different things going on there, like that'd be pretty damn cool. Like, it'd be like, because he's his music is great, he's iconic, but it's also, that's a really standout piece as well with that outfit as well. I'm a massive fan of the band Tool, but then again, like Danny Carey's drum kit alone, you'd need a module case for, and like they're a 4-piece band, but that would be pretty damn cool, having Adam Jones and Justin Chancellor and Maynard as well all together. That would be awesome. Yeah, that'd be something you'd kind of, they'd have to nail everything. They'd have to nail the likenesses, they'd have to nail like the appearance of the drum kit, it'd have to be like real metal symbols and stuff like that. But yeah, that'd be pretty damn cool. I think that'd be interesting. I don't think I'd get a band though. I don't think I'd go straight from collecting no music characters to a band. I think it would have to be just one musical icon. Like maybe you're into Johnny Cash or Elvis, but it would have to be someone. Elvis would be a good one if you're big into Elvis. I'm not really, but like, because he had so many different like iconic looks and out there outfits, like Michael Jackson. Like Michael Jackson, be another one I'm interested to see what In Art does. So yeah, it'd be cool to have an MJ like, but it would have to be someone who has fantastic, timeless music, but also wore stuff that makes them stand out, like your likes of Michael Jackson and Prince or whoever. But yeah, I think the B.I.G. one would be pretty damn cool though.
B.I.G. would be dope. And there's like, you could do outfit swaps for him, like iconic outfits that he had.
Mm-hmm. You could have him in you have a cane and a suit and stuff like that at one stage.
You mentioned one of mine. Like, for me, it would be a hard tie between Johnny Cash and Ozzy. Those are two of my favorite musicians of all time. I love Johnny Cash and Ozzy, so it would be hard to choose between, but I'd be happy with both.
Yeah, you've obviously seen Hurt.
Yeah,
it's it's just, if you look at Joaquin Phoenix's record, like his filmography, like he knocks it out of the park so much more than they're very few
actors,
misses. Yeah, man.
Gladiator.
Yeah, Gladiator again.
Yeah.
That's pity you don't like the movie, Mark.
How dare you?
Yeah. Do you know what part? Like, I love like hip hop and rock biopics. Like, because they just make for, usually if it's a rock biopic, you know, you've got some fantastic music. You usually have this like struggling artist, which just going to their big break, which is interesting, and then it shows them like rocking out, and it's all like, you know, if it's 70s or whatever, it's all like sex, drug, and rock and roll. So it makes for very good viewing, and inevitably there's some sort of a downfall in the character. So like Hurt, or even like Straight Outta Compton and stuff like that, makes for very, very good viewing because it's naturally dramatic, because these people don't they don't live boring lives, put it that way. Like, did you ever see the Motley Crue
Yeah, I was gonna tell
movie?
you that. I was gonna.
Man, that is
that's
awesome.
one of the best ones, man.
Yeah, and your man, is it Machine Gun Kelly? He did a really good job. Like, I thought, like, you know.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see, Shane, we think alike, man. I was literally gonna say that. And then if you haven't seen Pam and Tommy,
I still need to watch
Sebastian Stan, I thought there was no way he was gonna do better than MGK did. He one-upped him, man. He did a sick job. But it's not so much his career as Motley Crue. It's more Pam and Tommy's story of, you know, everything that went on with them. But he did a great job too, man.
You know, we know what role he crushed. It was a really brief cameo, but in Dumb Money, I know you brought that up the other day as a potential movie of the week. Gigi and I just watched it. He plays the guy from Robin Hood, and I had seen the actual clips, like a documentary about. He's so good in that. Really quick one.
I just like to publicly apologize here. I fully deserve the lol here.
I was wondering what you were talking
about. I'm taking. No. I need to be corrected. If I make a mistake, I will correct you. I'm not on the level as Jose the fact checker. But no,
I thought you were talking about two different things. I was confused.
No, it is Walk the Line, but Johnny Cash covers a Nine Inch Nails song called Hurt, and Trent Reznor, who basically is Nine Inch Nails, has said he prefers Johnny Cash's version. And Hurt is better live than it is on the album that's on the Downward Spiral, I think it is. But yeah, Nine Inch Nails could be awesome together because they're pretty they're unique looking when they're all together. Like, but yeah.
One that Eddie will appreciate, I don't know that you will, Shane. Selena. You talked about biopics, and Jennifer Lopez plays her in this biopic. She would actually make for a really incredible 1/6 scale figure. May she rest in peace. Like, just her outfits that she would wear, I think it would actually be a pretty cool representation.
And it's Jennifer Lopez is playing an artist called
Quintanilla. Yeah, anything for Selenas. If you haven't seen this film, Shane, you should definitely watch it. It's a classic from the 90s, I want to say. Yeah.
And is she a musician?
Yeah, so she was like born in Texas, but her dad was basically like, hey, the way that you're going to break onto the scene is by singing Spanish music. So kind of she didn't speak Spanish, or not very well. So it had her kind of break out. So she was really popular in Mexico, and then expanded to being really popular in the United States. And then something tragic happens, which I don't want to spoil for you because you should just watch the film.
Okay. Right. I'll add it to the list. The list that takes 2 seconds to add and then a lot of time and commitment to watch.
There we go. And just like Jennifer Lopez is an absolute beauty in it, and she reflects the actual singer, who was gorgeous as well.
Excellent. Good stuff. Selena. Have you ever seen the movie Blow?
I've heard of Blow. I haven't seen it.
Oh my god, I'd love to see Collecting Weekly do that as a film of the week.
Yeah, we actually should.
I think you'd love that, Eddie. It's just in terms of it's not a rock biopic, but it has a similar pattern. Yeah, if you've seen it, you know. Okay, so Marco, I think do you want to pick another one there? We're left with the Iron Man, CJ, the lightning bolt, or the wand.
Let's go with the magic wand. That one's got me intrigued.
Cool. You get to wave a magic wand and make one of us disappear, either me or Eddie. No, you get to make
that was
easy
one.
Easy decision.
God, trying to kill some people there. Huh?
You get to wave a magic wand and get any figure that you currently have pre-ordered, but you have to have it on pre-order. Not thinking about it. You have to have put a deposit on or whatever, paid it off. Something you can make it appear. What's it going to be?
Yeah, this is a tough one because there are a lot of really, really incredible figures that I have on pre-order. I would say I'm going to go with the Dark Knight Rises Armory. I'm really curious to see how that one turns out because I feel like it's, a unique piece that Hot Toys doesn't always do. So there's potential that it could turn out kind of shitty, I would say. Like, excuse my language, there's shit. There's potential that it might turn out not that great. So I'm very curious, but I think at the high end, like the ceiling for that is incredibly high. So I'm very excited for that piece.
I didn't actually catch what you said because I was addressing a chat there. But sorry, what was
Dark Knight Rises Armory?
Right, and you got you pre-ordered that with the CrossFit.
Yeah, I did. I don't know that I'm even going to have that Bruce Wayne in the display. I've got that Topo Dark Knight.
Yeah, I guess
suit set. So I get it's not from the same film, but I don't really mind.
Yeah, I don't mind. Joel will have a field day.
He'll be pissed.
Yeah. That could be a good call though. I hope they improve the head sculpt on that and that's the look of the fingers and stuff like that. But I think apart from that, once the armor itself doesn't yellow, I think it could be good. Like, cause I haven't ruled it out. It's there in the back burner somewhere. What about you, Eddie?
Mine's easy, and it's kind of shocking to me, but the Joker 4-pack.
Whoa.
I can't wait to get that in hand.
Yep.
So
I love the way you're always going to have one guy who completely abuses the rules and parameters that I set. That's usually you, Marker, but we have a new...
Did I break the rules because it's a 4-pack?
Yeah, you 100% did. Your dogs in the street know you broke the rules, but no, fair enough. I didn't specify, so...
dogs in the street, I'm not familiar with this phrase. It sounds racial, but...
No, like that's like something where you're like... Where it's like... Someone's like, oh no, it's a secret, and you're like, it's not a secret, everyone knows, the dogs in the street know. Like it's just it's like even animals know about this is not a secret.
That's awesome.
I think I just keep it simple. I think it would be that like if you either 89 Batman or Bane. I think I go 89 Batman because I have the Joker and he's just on his own. So I think that'll be it. Yeah. All right, cool. Will we jump back through the portal and take a look at some of these beauties for the time being? All right, so we've had a chat about the 89. We've had a chat about Mace. And we've had a chat about Bane. Eddie, what do you want to talk about? And is there anything here you're anyway interested in?
Yeah, the only other one that I actually have on pre-order is the Anakin, so I'll go with the Anakin.
You didn't get the Vader. You must be like the only collector.
I think I'm gonna go Return of the Jedi. So.
Yeah, I can see that logic. I get that. So Anakin, I should have him here. I do have him here. Anakin Skywalker. And this is the Attack of the Clones one, isn't it? So yeah, not the Artisan or anything like that. All right, so. Let's just have a look at this. And all right, so this Anakin Skywalker that's probably around 284. Was it just shy of 300? Would that make sense? Just shy of 290 maybe?
Yeah, I think it's around the same as Mace. I think it was 280.
So
something.
You're all in on... Did you pick up everything from the Attack of the Clones episode 2 20th anniversary? There was 9. Did you pick up them all?
I didn't get the droids.
Gotcha. Yeah. I can see that. Yeah. Because it would look weird with one, wouldn't it? Like if you had one Geonosis battle droid, you kind of need a few to make them look.
That's the thing, yeah. Droids and clones, it's hard to not army build, so I try not to get those anymore. Mm-hmm. I was big on clones for a while, and I still like regret and kind of want to go back to getting some, but it's one of those line things that I'm trying not to cross. But yeah, Anakin was a dopo again. I think Mace, Anakin, and Padme were all dopos for me. I love the prequels. I'm one of the biggest prequel fans in the community, I would say. Like I advocate for them over OT. Like that's more my childhood. I love OT, but I love the prequels even more. And Attack of the Clones is the same thing. Like I love that movie so much. And I love that version of Anakin. He is annoying, and like I know people don't love his acting, but like I love it. So I had to
I'm gonna say this about it, man. you could have Anthony Hopkins or De Niro, Pacino, DiCaprio, all the O's basically, and you could give them the script and they're not going to make that script sound good. The script writers were at fault a lot. I would even argue more so than Hayden Christensen. Like the script in episode 2 when he's saying my heart beats or aches for, like, that's like it's written by a 14-year-old on a Valentine's card. Like it's hard to believe that was written by adult professional scriptwriters. Don't even get me started on the sand. But I can see why people would be hyped on these figures because they look great. No one thought they'd actually get them. I think Anakin looks great. I think Padme looks great. The two of them together, this is a dream for prequels collectors. Like you must have been, when you saw these, were you in like disbelief? How did you feel when you actually saw the pre-order for like?
It's almost like Han, dude. Like the way that people were surprised to see it, it's almost like that for me. I was like, no way. Like I didn't think that they were gonna go back and make, let alone like this many, but even anything from Attack of the Clones in general, other than maybe clones. But yeah, I was shocked as hell to see any of that, especially because Padme was on in the graveyard for a long time. She was in the Coming Soon for a long time, and normally we don't see them go back and make stuff from there. So yeah, I was shocked, and I was shocked at how good all of them turned out. I know people had some critiques about Anakin and Mace Windu more so than Padme, but I thought all of them turned out like some of the best sculpts that I'd seen in recent time from Hot Toys. So.
Eddie, can you do me a favor when you get these? Invest in CCFLs.
I've been wanting to, man. I gotta do
like that. Calvin has a guy. I get them from Art 15 Custom. I don't get anything for saying that. I just bought them. I've had my Luke Skywalker there for a year. 0 issues. Now maybe I'll be talking to you in a few months' time saying it's melted and I'm now homeless because of it. But hopefully not. But yeah, I think this figure is going to come alive, and this is perfect because you can wire this so that you can hide all those wires up the sleeves of this guy's sleeves and put them out the back, and it would just look like they're actual lightsabers. We know wires, you know what I mean? Like this I think this is going to look absolutely great, especially paired.
And I think Fusion Reactors has done his own version of the CCFLs, right? It's like a little bit safer technology.
They don't look like lightsabers though. And like I say that I buy from Hendra Fusion Reactors. I buy the Fusion Reactors, but I won't buy the lightsabers he has from them because the CCFLs, they actually glow, where this is more of like it looks like a glass. It's an LED, I think it is, but it's not CCFLs. Maybe it is safer. You could be absolutely right, but I haven't had any bad experience, and I think it depends a lot on who you buy from, who's making them, because I don't think all CCFLs are equal, if you know what I mean. This looks great. Marco, do you have any interest in this, or?
Yeah, this is one along with Padme that I had in my cart for a long time. And on Padme, I haven't given up maybe going to get her at some point, but I'm already getting the Artisan Anakin, and I've got the Clone Wars version of Anakin, so I don't think that I need this one. I think it looks great. I think the sculpt is nice, the little baby hairs, but he's such a little whiny you-know-what in this film that, I don't know, like I see him and I think about whining. So I think that it's going to be a pass for me. So not a whole lot of interest, but Padme maybe.
You want to hear something controversial that I don't know that I think I've said it live, but the way people feel about Anakin, I feel about Luke. I think Luke is a whiny.
Oh no, you're
right. They want to go to the Tomashi station to pick up some power converters.
Yeah, exactly. And then it makes even. I think that's why I think it's so funny, because it makes more sense that Anakin would be too. Because I'm like, oh, he gets it from his dad. Then like
he didn't lick it off a stone, did he?
So
he loves a good power converter.
Maybe. Well, I was young when I saw them both, but I don't know why Luke always got on my nerves more than Anakin. A lot.
No, I agree with that. Especially when Yoda's training him too. He's such a whiny little
Jesus, yeah, dude.
Yeah,
That's
true.
pretty good.
Do you ever see that meme? And it's Yoda. He's obviously trying to lift the X-wing, and it's just like me when I wake up at 2:00 in the morning for a pee. You know, you can't see where you're going. Yeah, that just cracks me up. I know, I get that, Eddie, but you know what it is? It's if you're showing someone right now in 2024 the original Star Wars trilogy, you're going to go, look, 1977, 1980, 1983, try to put yourself back there, take it with a pinch of salt. You're going to do that. Like, and you kind of excuse, I think I do excuse a bit because they're so old that it's like they don't have that same experience of, like, you know, movie making maybe or technology or even the acting, like, you know, because if you look at actors now, I know like acting is acting, right? But if you look at actors now, they've so much more of a catalogue of movies and different actors and actresses to look at to go, okay, this is good, this is bad, this is convincing, this is not. Like, yeah, he's definitely whiny, but I don't think he's on the same level as Anakin. Like, I don't know, I wouldn't entirely agree with you there about that one, but yeah, I don't know. Do you think we make excuses for the original trilogy because it's
100%, everybody does that, I think. And I think you make excuses for characters that you just love more.
Yeah.
Not necessarily because it's old, though, but just because it's like one of the biggest like pop culture things of all time. So it's like you make excuses.
It's unimpeachable in my opinion. Like we can throw insults at it, but for its time, it was just such an incredible feat. It just influenced so much of the stuff that we love today. It's like, it's not even worth nitpicking at this point. It just is. They're just films that exist that are incredible in their own way, and that's how it is.
I'll say this though, and I'll stand by this. Some of the practical effects on, let's just say, the Death Star trench run with all the X-Wings in A New Hope, some of them, I've seen movies made in the last, say, 20 years which had CGI so bad that the 1977 A New Hope still look better than.
No doubt.
And I think because of their lack of CGI and like they're just leaning into model making and painting and stuff like that, it's just something about it looks a bit realer. And they're so old, and I just think that is absolutely commendable, to be honest. Also, Joey, that is wrong. That is wrong. Yeah, the Sneaker is getting actively bullied in the chat here. they're all giving out about Obi-Wan Kenobi's moral missteps, and yeah, it's funny. Like, oh, that's funny. I'm just gonna leave them play. Okay, so yeah, no, I just genuinely think that the original trilogy laid the foundation for not just science fiction or movie making, but like, you know, effects anyway. Yeah, I think there's always going to be that kind of aspect. If we didn't have that, we wouldn't have a lot of stuff we have now, I think. But yeah, I think that's why I'm such a Nolan fan, because if he can shoot it practical and real, he does it. The stuff he can't, he does the CGI. And I think a lot of filmmakers have kind of lost that. Like, they go straight for CGI or whatever. But I think maybe they're learning now. It was in the 90s and 90s was very bad for just everything had to be CGI.
Yeah, I think they're starting to realize that people do want those practical effects. Yes, they might be more time consuming or more expensive and require more thought, you know, when you're filming. But yeah, that's, you saw how people turned out for oh my gosh, what's Nolan's latest film? Why can't I think of it? Oppenheimer, there you go. Like, Oppenheimer was such a hit because it was something different. It stands apart from all the other CG stuff we get.
Yeah, and it's funny, it's like, it really was about him as opposed to the bomb. Like, I mean, the bomb goes off and it's like 5 minutes, and then the rest of it is just like the build up or the court drama. I hope he gets the Oscar. This is a controversial one. I liked it. I'm going to say I really liked it. I loved it. I really did love it. It's not as good as Inception, Interstellar. I get that. but I think I got more out of it from the more I watched it. The first time, I didn't understand it. The first time I saw The Matrix, I didn't understand it fully. I got the gist of what was going on, but every single time I watched it for 3, 4, 5 times after I picked up another detail and understood it more and more to the point where I could explain it. Tenet, it took me, I want to say, about 5 viewings before I actually got it.
Wow, you've seen it 5 times.
I really liked it. I've watched it backwards as well, which is the same as watching it forward.
Backwards. Holy cow.
Yeah. No, it's I still think it's a fantastic movie, and I think if you revisit it enough, you will like it. But
that's one that I own the Blu-ray. Like, I need to rewatch it. I just haven't made the time.
It's good, and I like Jimenez. That's Denzel's son, I think, isn't it? Is it John David Washington? JB,
hugest fan of him, but he is good.
Respectfully disagree. He was in another movie I watched recently, The Creator.
I still need to watch that as well.
It's all right.
Yeah, I will say one of Nolan's most underrated films, Dunkirk. We're talking about practical effects. Like, Dunkirk is just incredibly well done. Another
movie where Tom Hardy has his face covered.
Yeah.
Bane, he plays the pilot there in Dunkirk. There is another one or two movies. Mad Max.
Fury Road.
And I think there's another movie where he has his face covered for the vast
He's just
majority.
such a rough-looking guy. Like, I get it. You got to put a mask on him. Yeah. He's so ugly that what a handsome gentleman.
I'd say a lot of wives and girlfriends would probably disagree. He's on a laminated card somewhere.
There we go.
Yeah, 90s Friends reference there. So look, we're going to go back. We're going to take a look at what's left here. So we just did. We just spoke about Anakin. What about you, Marco? Is there anything else we haven't discussed there that you have on pre-order that you're really keen on?
I would just say that Final Swing Spider-Man. That's one that I'm very excited to add. I've already got the Andrew Garfield. Toby will be on his way eventually. And I never got the integrated suit, so I think this will be my stand-in. And again, it's not screen accurate, but if I'm going to have the 3 together, that's kind of the 3 that I want. So I think, like you said, the base is going to be awesome.
You've said today everything you said today is going to annoy Joao. So much of it not screen accurate. The Mace Windu, I think you mentioned Todd 360. Like, poor Joao is going to have like heart failure watching this. But
in my defense, though, he wakes up pissed off and looking for something to be upset about. So that's just his personality. That's how Russians are. Look at the Putin interview. Funny. Okay, we won't talk about that.
That is funny. I just want to share this. So okay, we got it. I think this is one that is. I think a lot of people are keen on this. I think this is stunning, and these are the old photos, and it still looks good. That the Sideshow when they release the updates, or Hot Toys release the updates, Sideshow for some reason don't update their photos a lot of the time. So this sculpt still looks good, but the actual updated one looks so much better. I think the only time they did it, I can remember, one of the only times is for the Peacemaker. They added I think eventually added the updates. I don't know if I'm right, but yeah. JB, I absolutely watched in the mirror. Come on, man, come on. Yeah, what do you guys see? You've pulled the trigger on this one, Marco?
Oh yeah, no doubt about it. This one is definitely coming home.
And what about yourself, Eddie?
I've thought about it. I don't think I'm gonna though. I love the suit, and I think that the likeness is insane. That's a really great likeness for Tom Holland. Tom Holland isn't my favorite MCU character. I really loved him in Civil War when he pops out, and like the first time we see Spider-Man in the MCU, that is amazing to me. But other than that, like, I don't love the movies, like any of the 3. They're okay. I did love the suit, but also I kind of hate Spider-Man Hot Toys because there's just too many things you can't do with them. So I really only want to sacrifice that hate for Toby and Andrew. I don't think I'm going to sacrifice it for him. I think I'll just skip it.
I think I think I'm wrong here. It says newly refined head sculpt up here, and I can't tell if that was something they had up there, as in it's a new figure, newly refined head sculpt, or have they subbed in the updated version of this? Because these images went up and then there was updated version. I think
a
these
while
are actually
ago
updated one.
They updated them. It wasn't recently. It was like a couple months ago,
Okay.
maybe before the holidays. But yeah,
But Eddie, when you're talking about the Civil War version, I agree. When he shows up in Civil War, so hype. But
yeah,
I could totally see Hot Toys going back and taking, because obviously they still have that Homecoming version, but they could kind of take the R&D from that and maybe one of the newer bodies or new materials that they're using on this one, and just release a Civil War version with Cap shield with like the half-mast head sculpt. I bet you they do that at some point.
I don't think Hot Toy collectors want to hear this. Actually, I know they don't want to hear it because they hated the 2099. But I don't think I'll ever like Hot Toy Spider-Man figures until they have visible joints.
No, that's a terrible idea.
I know.
Snap
I know.
Eddie.
No,
Snap them
that's-
out of existence for that
It's
one.
like, do you
Sorry.
hear yourself when you talk? I mean,
I
come
know.
on. Like,
Yeah. Sorry. I just
you're not
can't do
sorry.
anything,
You're lying
so-
to us now.
yeah.
You actually want visible joints.
Yeah, I think that they could do it. If they really tried, I think you could do a hip joint, a knee bend, and at least a shoulder swivel. That wouldn't look too obscene. But yeah, I get it. It wouldn't do well and there'd be immediate backlash, but like that's what I want my Spider-Man to do. So I don't
I think that
want him
Miles
standing
Morales
there.
from Into the Spider-Verse, that's the perfect like unison of that, right? Because it's no exposed joints, but it's just a cloth material, so you can get them in whatever pose you want. I feel like that's the sweet spot.
You can't get
Okay.
him in whatever pose you want though.
The Miles?
You can't. Not a spider. You can get him in a close enough Spider-Man
Uh-huh.
pose, but a true Spider-Man pose?
Interesting. Okay, I'm gonna send you some pics because I feel like I've seen some pretty dynamic.
Are they your poses
Poses.
or someone else's?
Someone else, you know me. His hand is like this, and he's good.
This
Hand on the
question
hip,
is
Maybe
that's
you
all I
can
got.
with that one because it's the Spider-Verse one, right?
Different material, yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
I like this question. If there was one pre-order that you had to drop right now due to expenses, which one would it be?
Probably Prey, the Feral Predator.
Oh,
That's not my favorite version of the Predator, and I'm more getting it just to show Hot Toys that like I want more Predators, like 2.0s of all the old ones, 3.0s I think. But yeah,
okay.
it's super expensive, and I don't feel like I need
it's gonna be big as
that
well.
Predator. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, I think the one that I was most on the fence about that I ended up pulling the trigger on was the Iconic Studios not Ryu, but Ken. Like, I think it looks really good, and I'm hoping that the final version will look even better. But if one had to go, I think that would be an easy one to cut.
Okay. This is tough. Like logically, you'd pick the most expensive thing if you were struggling for expenses, but I'm not canceling the 4-pack of the Jessic 89. God, what would go? Pre-order. See, the thing is, I've got Toby and Andrew like on pre-order. Like I've got kind of a later batch or whatever. Like, and I want to get the integrated suit, but I haven't ordered yet. So I feel if I can cancel one of them and I'll cancel the other, I want the three of them together. Like, so if one's gonna go, it would just look weird. So it'd probably be Toby and Andrew then, and just like I haven't pulled the trigger on the integrated because I think that's destined for a bargain bin. But I do want to treat them together, having a conversation type of thing, meme pose, whatever you want to call it. But that's what I think that would go. And then just keep this one, and then my Homecoming one, and call it a day, So yeah, I think that's what it'd be. Good question. Thanks, Bonehead. I feel like I'm insulting you calling out your username, but you did name yourself. Thanks, Bonehead. That's funny. Low-key collectors here. How you doing, Calvin? Good to see you. And Single Songwriter said I would drop Kenobi Vader. I think there's a bit of that going on, I think, yeah.
That one's going to be, I feel like some folks are going to regret passing on that, and I get it.
think,
The
yeah.
Return of the Jedi is probably going to be the superior version, but for me, it's both. You got to do both.
You see, it's OT, isn't it? That's it. It's just, yeah, OT holds that kind of special place. Like, All right, so let's just go back one here. Eddie, we got the Iron Man, we got CJ, we got the Lightning Bolt.
I'll go with CJ because I haven't.
Collector Joey, congratulations, you have selected Collector Joey, and Collector Joey has
great, more
kindly,
misinformation, fantastic.
Kindly put together this slide full of fake news, and we're calling him out for it because everyone knows these won't be released. No, he says estimated. Sometimes he said scheduled. So he's very, very accurate there. To ship starting February 2024. So please, please, please don't get too excited if they don't ship, you know. Catch yourself on. Right. So is there anything here that you've actually pre-ordered?
Bane, Anakin, and Mace. I think that's it for me. But there's other
That's
ones
not
I want
bad.
to get.
That-
but
that's
those are
pretty
actual
refined.
Pre-orders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was my next question. You may as well continue on. So ones you've actually pre-ordered was Bane, Anakin. What was the third one? Sorry.
Mace. All the. Yeah. Bane,
Yeah, I
Anakin.
got you.
Yeah,
And then
Mace.
which ones you're like, okay, I haven't pulled the trigger on that, but I cannot rule it out. I'm keen on that.
I think the only two are the Mark 6 and the open. What is that? The open suited Mark 6? Is that the? I don't know. I don't.
No,
remember
that's
what
just the Mark
that is.
6.
Mark
Oh,
7.
sorry, no, that's the
The
Mark
open
7,
suit.
the panic room.
Yeah, that one. So I think those two are the only ones that I. Oh, and Vader, because we talked about that. So those three are the only ones that like I'm probably gonna end up getting.
Mhm.
I just don't have them on order.
Cool. Marco, same two questions.
Yeah, so actually a few more than I'd like to admit, but I just want everyone to remember that if I pre-order, it's with a built-in discount, so not just like pre-ordering willy-nilly. But I would say the Clone Wars Kenobi is one that's definitely coming home. Shuri Black Panther, Bane, the final swing Spider-Man, Mark 6, and then the Kenobi Vader as well.
So they're the ones you have on pre-order, or
Those are the ones that I have on pre-order already.
okay? And in terms of like ones you're like, I kind of want that, can't rule it out.
So maybe the Avatar figures, because I do love Avatar 1, and the second one was pretty damn good as well. I know that movie gets a lot of hate, but I do enjoy that property.
Deserves every bit of it.
Yeah, and maybe the Mace, like we talked about. And if I really am reaching on, like, maybe is the Black Adam, but likely not. So, yeah, there's a lot of good stuff here.
I watched I'm a big James Cameron fan, but I watched the first Avatar, and I get where he's going for it, fine. Watched it in the cinema twice, thought it was spectacle or whatever, but never felt the need to go back and watch it again. I did think it was Pocahontas or Fern Gully or whatever. Like,
Fern Gully.
I watched the second one, and I was like, I would rather jump off the Empire State Building and land on a bike with no saddle. I just thought it was absolutely, just did not appreciate the second one at all, man. It was just so long and boring. Like, I don't know. You like that, obviously, yeah?
Yeah, I really did, honestly. I thought it was like a nice, it had a lot of heart too. I enjoyed it.
Okay, I'm dead inside. Okay, right, moving on.
I think so.
Yeah,
You hate your family, can I ask? No, I'm joking.
Yeah,
Jesus.
yeah.
You said no comment.
Ask me off air.
That's right.
No, I'm joking. I just have a harsh sense of humor.
So do we all.
Yeah. And I'm in good company. Right, so on pre-order here, the Bane, obviously. And I think it's just the Bane, the Kenobi Vader. And after that, things I have a strong interest in. Well, the final suit swing. Look, I'm kidding myself by not pre-ordering. It's happening. The Mark 6 is my favorite suit, but I have a Mark 6 I'm very happy with. And I really like the gantry, though. They might get me with that gantry, but
Oh, that full-blown gantry. I know, it's
don't
beautiful.
know where to put it. I mean, the plan I have in mind will have space for the Jazz Inc. 89 and the Tumbler, but then that's it. Like, so that's not going to fit in a Detolf or a Bleeding or whatever, and it might fit on a floating shelf because it has extra space either side. I have to do a bit of measuring. It might actually look quite nice in it, but I might just have to be content with my Mark 6. I really do like it. So yeah. Thank you very much to Collector Joey. I'm sorry I didn't reach out and actually ask you, could I use your fake news? But I do really appreciate it. Yeah. I don't know how I missed pre-ordering Bane. Hopefully waitlist converts. Yeah, but you know yourself, there's always other places, Trevor. And thanks very much for joining us here. Marco, how are you fixed? Are you okay for another few minutes, or?
You know, I've actually got to jump now. I got to prepare for a meeting at 11. So appreciate you for hosting today. Bargain Bin Bros. Yeah, really fun stream. And congratulations on 3K.
Thank you. I really appreciate you coming on and giving up your time here. And I do appreciate the super chat as well. You didn't do that, but massively appreciate it. Anything you want to plug?
Nothing. I would just say watch LWO tonight. It'll be on Mario El Profesoro's channel, and it'll be at 10:30 Eastern, 7:30 Pacific. So thanks again, and you guys have a good rest of your weekend.
Cool. Good stuff. Send me the link for LWO. If I'm up, I'll jump in.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Cool. You guys.
Look. And then there were two. All right, Eddie. So I'm just going to tell that the top one there, the top one, the Iron Man, is quite simple. What's your favorite Iron Man MCU suit? What's your the coolest looking one?
The Mark III.
Wow, you're going classic.
Yeah. 100%.
I'm a Mark 6 man, but the Mark 3 would probably an extremely close second. But I gotta say, if I had to sell all the Iron Mans and keep one, the Mark 3 might edge it because of the movie. And there's, you know, they are quite similar. They both have a classic Iron Man look with the red and the gold and stuff, but I love that triangular arc reactor and a more angular, it's like a leaner torso. It's just cooler looking, I think. But yeah, I think the Mark 6 is my favorite, but if I had to just have one Iron Man, I think it could be the Mark 3.
I like the fact that the 3 is a good balance between bulky and not overly bulky like the 7. Mm-hmm. And also I prefer 0 silver highlights in there, and a lot of after the 3
like the
have silver highlights. Yeah, just red and gold. And then so most of the suits that I like are going to be more the red and gold, unless it's like all silver, because I like the Mark II, but that's just the Mark III unpainted. And then my second favorite suit is actually the 50. Like, I love the 50 for some reason. It has that sleek look, but it's also the red and gold. I don't think there's any... very, very little silver on them. Not as much as the 7 or anything else, so yeah.
Yeah, I gotcha. I'm trying to see what... So we've done the top 3. We've done the middle 3. The lightning bolt is basically Valkyrie. Do you have any interest in talking about Valkyrie?
Not really.
Neither do I.
Yeah, I don't care.
Yeah, I don't think it's a train wreck or anything. But I didn't even do a video on it. Like, it's like it's one of, you know, I like Tessa Mae Thompson, but even if that figure was shrink ray perfect, like pulse and everything, I still wouldn't buy it because I'm just not the biggest fan of that particular character. And the movie, let's face it, Thor: Love and Thunder, the movie is dirt. I'm not a fan, but I don't.
I think people probably could take this opinion and find a way to make it like a hateful thing, but most of the times I don't like girl Hot Toys or women characters. To me, they always feel more doll-like than male character Hot Toys. I don't know. I'm sure there's some examples of male character Hot Toys that could be pointed out that look like dolls, but I feel like the realism is lost with females. I feel like the proportions, the bodies, they always look different. The heads always look oversized to the bodies. I feel like half the time with female characters that's the case. So because I think the likeness is actually really good on the Valkyrie. I think it came out great, but
I can see her face in it. I think the head's too big and the neck is really skinny and the body is not. It's just not kind of athletic the way she was, you know. I can get what you're saying with the doll-like qualities of some of the female characters. The Catwoman has a slight doll-like feeling, I think. being honest. But there's maybe if I don't know. Again, I know it's a meme. Allegedly, InArt said they were going to do Dan Hathaway Catwoman in 2029. But I'd be interested to see if their one looks doll-like, or if they do a female character, and if it does look. The only female character I have I have two. I have Ahsoka and the Endgame Black Widow, and they're solid. They're solid.
I've only ever owned Wonder Woman, the training armor, and Harley Quinn from Suicide Squad, and I thought both of those were done well, and I didn't have that feeling that I have with those. So it's not like I'm opposed to owning them. And I realize that they are dolls, but they're not Barbies, and most of the time they look very realistic, the figures that we get, and these lean closer to the doll category than the realistic category for me.
I think that's a fair point. Yeah, absolutely. But there are some that definitely do look quite good. Like, I mean, for me, I say people are sick of me saying this, but I'm going to say it again. I think of strong female characters from cinema, and I just think instantly of Ellen Ripley and Sarah Connor.
I would love Ripley.
Yeah, and like, as much as like the one that they did wasn't bad at all, but I just love if they did a brand new updated one. They absolutely nailed it. That definitely would be worth the pre-order for both of those characters. Like, but I do think the Sarah Connor looks definitely a bit doll-like, to be honest. So, like, out of these ones here that we've left, speaking of female characters, we have a lot of people are hyped about this. This is the Multiverse of Madness Wanda. What about this one? I think this one looks pretty good. I wasn't a fan of the movie, but I think this one looks pretty good.
Yeah, I think it's decent. It has the sculpted hair, which I like. I prefer on female characters. I haven't until InArt does a rooted one. Actually, I did think that the artisan one looked pretty decent too. But
so do you think the doll-like quality is added from a lack of a good standard of rooted hair from Hot Toys?
I still don't like the proportions on a female character. Like, if I nitpick this thing, I feel like the hands are always bigger and the head is always bigger than it should be compared to the slimness of the body. Like,
right.
I always see that on a female character. And then in hand, I feel like it's even worse sometimes. So,
even on this Multiverse of Madness one?
Yeah, I would still say the same thing. I still feel like the head is bigger than it should be on her body.
Right.
And the hands will always look bigger to me than they're supposed to. But also, though, I don't really care for this version of Wanda. I know that maybe in the comics Scarlet Witch goes crazy and she's more like of an evil character. But I prefer like the Avengers version before she went all insane and started like being the evil.
That one that they released, is it the one that they did, the artisan one, and then the sculpted hair one? Is that from Endgame? Yeah, that one there, I think that's pretty cool, but I would go sculpted on it, and that's because I don't trust Hot Toys to deliver on the rooted hair. I've yet to see a Hot Toys figure with rooted hair that I'm like, that is amazing. And that's, like, I do think that InArt seems to be delivering, like they delivered what they did with Gandalf and the beard, and I'm not even a Lord of the Rings fan. I just thought that was mind-blowing. So I am interested, as much as it's a meme waiting for InArt. They do better rooted hair, and until Hot Toys prove me wrong, that is my stance on that. But I do think this looks good, but I think if I had to get a one, that'd be the Endgame one.
I agree.
Yeah. Is there anything else here? So we've discussed the top three. We haven't discussed Kenobi Vader yet, which is unusual. What about the Mark 6? Or actually, I as much as I wasn't a fan of the She-Hulk show, they've nailed that figure.
I agree with that. I think actually when I first saw the figure, I was like, damn, I kind of like that. Like, that's there you go, an example of a female character that I think is done well.
Let's take a look at this.
That one's pretty good.
Because I think the character design they kind of did well on the show.
Yeah.
And I really like that actress. I think she was kind of given a raw deal. In the same way that Tamora Morrison was given a raw deal with the script for Book of Boba Fett and the story.
Dang.
It's like, yeah, you're going to be a sidekick and you're going to come. Yeah. like, again, it wasn't a fan of the show. I've never read She-Hulk in the comics, but this looks bloody good. The proportion, the seamless body, the outfit, it's very simple. She comes with a phone, but it's going to look good on the shelf.
Yeah, the body looks good. I like when Hot Toys nails an expression really well, and I feel like they did a really good job on
100%.
an expressive head sculpt with her.
100%. Yeah.
And the hair looks finely detailed, and see how the strands are a little bit deeper than the Han? I feel like if they did that with Han, it would elevate that hair.
I agree. Yeah.
So,
Definitely.
Yeah, I think they nailed this 100%, you know, opposed to whatever you think of the actual source material. Like, yeah, the figure looks great.
And there's a lot of posing going on there. So, and even I think they look great together. The contrast between the green, the purples, and the whites of her outfit, and the mustard kind of yellow and the browns of his outfit. That was probably like the better episode. Like I think there was good chemistry between the two actors, and I know a lot of people didn't like what they did with Deadpool or whatever, but I actually thought it was quite funny about the walk of shame, whatever. I just thought that was funny, but I know a lot of people didn't like it.
Yeah, I didn't.
I need to go back and rewatch the Daredevil show on Netflix.
It's funny, but I feel that it changes the tone of the character that you've done so well to create and build up in people's
like they did
minds.
with Kingpin in yeah.
That's what I don't like about it. I do agree that it's funny.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah. I get what you're saying though. It's like they just made a mockery out of a figure that they spent
Same
a few
thing.
seasons in.
They did this. They're really good at that. They did the same thing with Thor. He had a tone of a character, and you came in and made a joke out of him, and they do that a lot.
So Bonehead, I feel like I'm insulting this person every time I say it, but he chose the username. Bonehead agrees with you, says that Yelena Belova was a solid figure. Ripley and Sarah are exactly that. Eva Sneaker says Warner Brothers 100 rooted was very good, or fire. Dave's Man Cave Ireland, this is more than likely the man that I'm going to be selling my Hot Toys Catwoman to. He has a channel. Dave, is your channel at Dave's Man Cave Ireland, or would you be able to maybe type into the chat and I'll be able to say it then? If you type it's going to get automatically blocked if you just set the link up, but if you just type it in without doing www.com, whatever. So he's from Ireland, he's a collector. I do believe he has a YouTube channel. He saw my video on the Catwoman and just said, if you don't want it, I'll buy it off you. So I'm going to check it out. At the moment though, I'm leaning towards selling it. I'm not 100% yet, but it's nice to have that kind of, if you don't need it, don't have to, going through the struggle of selling it and stuff like that, and people lowballing you and all that nonsense. But so thank you, Dave. Just let us know about that channel. I sort of want the red and yellow Daredevil from the show. So a lot of chats coming in here. Mark Mitchell, great to see you. 2 Prey Predators and She-Hulk ordered. I believe Mark Mitchell bought a 1/6 scale bear to pair with his Prey. I thought that was quite funny and quite good.
Nice.
It's Dave's Man Cave IRL for Ireland, obviously. Thanks for the plug, Shane. No problem at all. Us Shamrock Fiends need to stick together. So, singer-songwriter, congrats at 16 Figure Focus, 3,000 plus subscriber world. I do appreciate that. And Jose saying, nice to have a financial backer.
Yeah.
That's quite funny, yeah. I kind of have to call it a day now because I think I'm being summoned. Is there anything else there? I think we went through all of these things anyway. Unless there's anything else you want to talk about, Eddie?
No. Save it for Monday, I guess.
Excellent, yeah. Hopefully we probably won't get them drops now because it's a Friday, but yeah, we'll have something else planned, no doubt. Thanks, Eddie. I really do appreciate it. And huge shout outs to, again, I know I've said this before, I'm going to say it again, anyone who's taken time out of their day or their life to watch any of the videos, to like any of the videos, to subscribe to the channel, to leave a comment, to watch any of the live streams, become a guest on the live stream, ask me to come on to their channel, become a channel member as usual. There's a link in the description. Gift channel members like Eddie did today. And Yomo, I That's never happened before on the channel. It's massively appreciated. And thank you for the super chat. It goes back into the channel. 3,000 subs. I'm going to do a quick refresh to see if people have unsubscribed yet. No, we're at 3,000 subscribed. That's a good way to end. I'm going to end it right there before anyone actually runs away. Grant, thanks folks, and we'll see you on the Hope Show on Monday night. Where will you be?
Where will I be Monday? What do you
Where
mean?
will you be? Like, you'll be doing streams, I presume.
Later today or tonight, I will be on LWO. I believe it's on Mario's channel, El Profesoro,
Excellent stuff.
Sunday with Ben on the Ben Thomas.
Yeah, I'll be on Ben's on Sundays.
Oh, actually, no, I lie. Sunday's Super Bowl, so I will not
I see,
be on.
I see.
But I do think he's streaming.
I think he is.
For those that
is.
aren't watching football. So
I think he is.
Yeah.
I will be watching that Deadpool trailer. With that, folks,
yeah.
thank you very much. 3,000 subscribers, onwards and upwards. I massively appreciate it. Wherever you are in the world, have a great Friday evening and a great weekend. We'll be talking to you on Monday. Good luck.